pretty awkward watching that, I have to say. Veronique Trillet-Lenoir, to you first. What went through your mind when you saw that video?
It is unacceptable. It is an unacceptable humiliation to the EU's highest-ranking female leader. And ironically, if I may say so, she suffered this humiliation during a trip arranged in part to pressure Turkey on supporting women's rights after Turkey withdrew the Istanbul Convention. So it's really shocking. It should not happen anymore. And I feel very sorry for Mrs. von der Leyen, who is a very important and powerful woman. I hope she still is.
Ms. Bulc, what's your view on this as well? As we were just discussing, it feels quite extraordinary at a time when the EU is trying to pressure Turkey on women's rights to have this snub.
Well, I think overall there's going to be a lot of little mistakes that were done along this way that actually resulted in this really, really unpleasant and situation. So I think the services should have probably tested and verified the arrangements before that. But what I felt, and when I saw the videos of the event, it is more the underlying message. It's this subconscious reactions of both presidents, because they didn't even think about offering President von der Leyen the seat or even consider bringing another seat. I mean, this could be really solved very quickly. But that just shows that we still have two worlds. One is written on the papers, and the other one is in the hearts, and it's lived and delivered in the situations where your subconscious mind works more than your rational mind.
It's a point, isn't there, about at what point do we need men to stand up and call out this kind of behaviour? Ms. Trillet-Lenoir, should Charles Michel have done more? Should he have spoken up? Should he have refused to sit down at that point?
I could see the video you have shown where nothing is seen during the period where he sits down and she doesn't. So I can't say more about it because we cannot see what happens when they all realize that there are only 2 chairs for 3 persons. But certainly the fault is on the side of Erdogan, who clearly did not even think about giving a chair to the lady. We have old photographs showing Donald Tusk as the president of the Council and Jean-Claude Juncker as the president of the Commission, both sitting together with Erdogan. So the fact that she is a lady is not a mistake. It is clearly the message that she does not have the same rank as a man. So again, it's terribly shocking.
I see the argument that this lays at the door of the Turkish president, but should we not hold our European leaders to higher standards? Should the head of the European Council not have done more? Ms. Bulc, what do you think?
Well, absolutely. This was a lost opportunity to demonstrate the European values in action. I mean, Michel should have reacted differently, but he didn't. So now this is a new precedent, and then we really have to discuss it. And I hope some actions will follow.
We've been talking a bit about how this is perhaps not something that is uncommon for women at the top of politics. I think we should be able to show some footage of Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, meeting President Donald Trump, I'm hoping. Unfortunately, we can't see that now. But what the point that I'm trying to make is that it feels as if this is almost par for the course for many women leaders. Is that your experience, Ms. Trillet-Lenoir?
Well, yes, but not only in politics. Before becoming a politician, I was a medical doctor. And it happened very frequently that my patient referred to the male students as a doctor while thinking that I was the nurse, because the opposite was very unlikely. Medicine is a men's world, and I have experienced the need for a woman to do more and better in order to reach the same ambitions as men. Things have changed since the old decades I'm talking about, but still in the European Parliament, for instance, some countries like mine require parity, but still there are less than 50% women in the Parliament, and we probably have to speak louder and do more and better to be at least considered as valuable. So things have changed in Europe, not in Turkey, but in Europe clearly, but we still have this kind of examples showing that we really have to fight for gender equality, a strong priority of my political group in the Parliament.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, your experience in the kind of medical profession too. I mean, I've been in political journalism for a decade. In that time, people have asked me if I was a weather presenter or makeup artist as well. I think sometimes they're kind of subconscious that people feel a women in these positions kind of comes out. Ms. Bulc, is that something that you've experienced as well?
Well, certainly, besides being a Deputy Prime Minister of Slovenia, I served also as a EU Commissioner for Transport. And I know that one of the biggest efforts during our mandate was to bring more women in power on management and leadership positions within the EU. And within the Commission, we managed from 23%, we went all the way up to the 42%. And we proved that in 5 years that can be done, but there is a much bigger challenge on a local level. So even the country I know best, we are seeing even the worse situation now that we had in the past. Women are disappearing from the public life, from the public posts, especially from the posts that deal with public money. So that's why I'm still very much in favor of quotas, and the quotas need to be exercised until some sort of balanced situation is reached. And then, of course, you don't need them anymore. And we have countries in the EU that prove the point, that they don't need quotas anymore. So, yes, the issue is still very much needed, and we need to discuss it, and we need to address it in a day-to-day life. And instances like this one just prove again what I said at the beginning, that there is something that is written in papers, but in our hearts and in our minds, there is much more work that needs to be done.
OK, really interesting discussion with both of you. Lots of broad points raised there, so much appreciated. Thank you.